I begin my story as Colleen Harper, 36, a product manager, homeowner, and mother to a bright 12-year-old boy, Dylan, but my strength was born from pain that started at 18 when my dreams of college were stolen by the very people who should have supported me. When my grandfather passed away, he left me $100,000, money meant for my education. I had been accepted into a prestigious computer science program, and I clutched that acceptance letter like it was my ticket to freedom. But one summer night, my parents, Robert 62 and Evelyn 60, summoned me. With folded arms, Robert declared, "We need your inheritance. It's for Philip's business." Philip, my older brother, the family's golden child, wasn't even there. He didn't need to be. Our parents spoke for him. I protested, whispering, "What about my college?" But my father dismissed me. "You can take loans. This is for family." Family to them, that word never included me. Under guilt and pressure, I handed over the money. Within a year, their business collapsed. No repayment, no apology. My future vanished. That night, I packed my duffel bag, laptop, and $500. I walked out into the heavy summer air of Louisville, the buzz of streetlights mocking me. At 18, I was abandoned, carrying only my determination. That betrayal planted a seed that would grow into resilience. Leaving home was my exile, but also my liberation. I boarded a bus to a city where no one knew me. My new world was a dusty apartment with strangers, instant noodles, and silence, but it was earned, not given. That was the day I learned. Family can take your money, but they cannot take your will to rise. Independence was not glamorous, it was survival. I juggled college classes by day and shifts at diners, grocery stores, and tutoring gigs by night. My mattress sat on the floor, my meals were ramen, and my only comfort was a pinned acceptance letter reminding me why I fought. My parents barely called, and when they did, Evelyn's rehearsed voice quickly turned from "How's school?" to praising Philip's newest idea. It was never about me, so I stopped expecting care. Instead, I poured myself into coding, fueled by anger and determination. At 22, I graduated top of my class in computer science. No family was there to clap, but as I walked across the stage, I applauded myself. I had earned it. By 24, I found stability in tech, with paychecks that replaced ramen with real meals. I even married Alex, a witty coworker who promised stability. For a while, I thought I had found balance, but betrayal returned when I discovered his affair. I was 25 and pregnant. This time, I didn't crumble. I packed his bags and shut the door. Alex sent money, but he stayed distant. I stayed strong. When I first held Dylan, tiny and warm, I vowed, "You will never feel the loneliness I felt." From that day, my life had a new purpose. Dylan became my strength, my joy, my reason. I climbed the ladder to product manager, bought a modest home, and built a life from the ground up. My friend Denise, practical and loyal, reminded me to guard my boundaries. Yet resentment simmered quietly. My family still worshipped Philip, now in his 30s, even as his ventures crumbled. Meanwhile, Robert and Evelyn aged, their home decaying like their choices. For years, silence was my shield. But silence doesn't last forever. The storm was coming. The storm arrived with a phone call. On a quiet Tuesday, as Dylan worked on homework, Evelyn's trembling voice cracked through the line. "Your father is sick. The bank is foreclosing. We need $300,000. My chest tightened. The same pattern. Bad decisions, debts, and now pleas for rescue. "What do you want me to do?" I asked flatly. "You're doing so well. We're family. Help us." She pressed. That word burned. Still, I flew back to Louisville. Not to save them, but to close unfinished chapters. The house that once smelled of cookies now reeked of mildew. Robert lay frail, but his eyes were still sharp. Over coffee, Evelyn leaned closer. "At least $200,000. It's the least you can do." I shook my head. "I have Dylan. I have responsibilities." Robert's voice cut like glass. "You've always been selfish. We gave you everything. Everything. They stole my inheritance, abandoned me at 18. Now I was selfish for refusing." Philip sauntered in, smirking. "Don't play the victim. Step up or watch us sink." But it was Evelyn's final words that shattered me. You and your son are freeloaders living off our sacrifices. The insult wasn't aimed just at me. It was at Dylan, my child, my world. And in that moment, something inside me hardened. I stood, voice steady. Do not use my son as leverage. Family doesn't demand what I earn. Family doesn't insult my child. I walked out. That night, I chose boundaries over begging. The next morning, their smear campaign began. Evelyn posted a tearful TikTok, painting me as a heartless daughter letting her parents lose everything. Strangers online called me selfish, but I didn't fight with words. I fought with truth. With Denise's help and lawyer Laura, I bought the house directly from the bank. Deed in my name, I gave them an option: stay 5 years, repay in structured terms. Fair, firm, legal. They refused, still clinging to entitlement. Eviction followed. 30 days later, the house was empty. Curtains torn, walls scratched, but their power over me was gone. I cleaned it, let sunlight in, and rented it to a young couple. Their laughter filled the halls, and rent flowed into Dylan's college fund. That was justice, not revenge. I blocked numbers I once craved calls from. I stopped replaying old voicemails. For the first time, silence was peace. Before leaving Louisville, I drove past the house one last time. I whispered goodbye, not to them, but to the girl who once begged for their love. That chapter was closed. Back home, Dylan and I planted marigolds. He asked, "Are the storms over?" "Storms come and go," I told him. "But we don't live under them. We choose where we stand." I showed him the deed with my name and said, "Strength isn't shouting, it's choosing when to walk away, choosing respect over approval. Family isn't who shares your blood. Family is who shows up kindly, who protects your peace, who celebrates your no as much as your yes."